Black Feniks checking in. Right now, I am inside of the shop, and I wanted to talk to you about that because when I say old school welders, I mean not just only old school welding machines, but just older welders, welders who've been in the field for a while, or older gentlemen. And normally, I'm gonna say gentlemen in their, um, 50s, 60s, 70s. You know what I mean? 60s, 70s, because some of the people I know in their 50s, they are aware of a lot of the new technology and a lot of things. Like I said, I'm 40 years old, and I'm always running across new technology that actually I'll be like, wow, that raises my brow. Like, man, that's cool. I think that the way that the technology is shifting now, it makes it easier for a student to learn. It makes it easier to do certain applications in the field, with pipe welding, with industrial welding, with shop welding. Some of the machines that they have came out with versus what they had in the past. Some of the stick in and plug ins. And some of those stick welders actually work real well. I actually used a older Miller stick welder today, and it burnt excellent. Like, that welder burnt real, real well. And the difference between some of the older ones, they just have um, they have limited settings as far as to tune things in. But if you have them set right, you can be able to burn well, like on, using 3/32, using an 1/8 inch rod, using a 5/32 rod. And especially when you're doing field welding and installing. So, one great thing is to know what rod to use in the field too. So with the old welders, sometimes they'll think that it's only one way to do things, and which actually there is an easier process. But you don't want to offend the older welders. You don't want to make them feel like they don't know nothing. It's just, hey, let me show you this. This here is an easier process, new technology. Check this out. Check how we can actually do this. So a lot of times, you don't want to, even though, I understand how a person can get cocky and just want to say, hey, man, I know this, and this. You ain't really got to do that. It's just actually just show them. Actions always speak louder than words. And if it works, it works. You see what I'm saying? So if it works, it works. And sometimes we have to just really keen in on the new technology and not be intimidated by it, like really accept it and embrace it, because depends on what you're doing. There is an easier way to do it. I know a gentleman. I'll never forget a gentleman that I went to Scottsdale one time in Arizona to go do a call, and he had bought a machine to do some work, and he was bragging on this machine he had, and he showed me what type of work he was doing. Once I looked at the work he was doing, I said, how much you spent for that? He said, oh man, I spent like $5,000 for this unit. And I'm like, and I was just like, man, you could have spent a lot less and got this here and could still did that and say, oh man, I thought I had to get this. No, you didn't. Sometimes we buy things just because of the way they look, or just say we spent a lot of money on certain things. But I think that it's important that we know what we are actually spending our money on. For instance, I just purchased a new 140 Lincoln MP unit, and my purpose of that unit was to be able to kill several birds in one stone, three actually. I can do four processes with this unit. I can do stick welding, MIG welding, flux core welding, and TIG welding. So I can be able to teach, I can be able to do service calls, and I can be able to build products. So, I love saying products over talent, because once you get the talent, you want to learn how to invest your money into products. But I think that it's important that we invest in our equipment and the way we make money, because now we know that when it's all said and done, it's the tools you have. Tools are going to always bring you an income. So, having the right technology, the new technology, actually makes it easier to do certain things in the field when it comes to ironworking, installing, shop welding, field welding. So I think that we should be um, aware of the new technology and don't fear it just because it's a little different. And, I think that we should work together as welders, and older welders and younger welders, those who know the newer technology. you know, we can be able to give it to the older welders, vice versa. You know what I mean? And some of them are up on it, but I think that we shouldn't collide. We should most definitely work together and get some of that wisdom, because there's a lot of things that they know versus what you know. And sometimes, honestly, I get looked at as being a younger welder sometimes because of my appearance when I go in the field and do certain jobs, and then I tell them, no, I've been doing this for, I got 20 years, you know, experience. And they're like, oh, really? I said, yes, I've been doing it for a while, and I've been hands-on in the field for a minute. So, you know, so I really, my whole thing has always been to work smarter, not harder. So I'm always embracing that to take myself to the next level. So just wanted to talk to you about it. I think that it's important that we will really look into the new technology, the new equipment. Um, they got all type of brands now, so you can pretty much pick your brand. You don't have to stick with a certain brand. So, you know, if you like Lincoln, Miller, Esau, whatever else they got out there, all these other brands, and I have seen different ones, and they work. Evergreens, you know, it works. You know what I mean? So I don't knock. My thing is get what works, get what you need, um, but you can't be necessarily cheap, but you need to get what you can afford. And as you make money, you can always upgrade. So keep that in mind. So just want to say, check out some of the new technology they got out there. It most definitely can help us do our jobs more easier. Um, I think that spending a little bit can help you make a lot. You know what I mean? So it's all about the right investment. So 2021, it's all about making the right investments, furthering our education, and living to be remembered. Hold on. Products over talent.